No, I'm not going to do that again. I've done that before, and it always trips people up because they think my microphone's not working, but my microphone is working. No, I'm not going to do that again. I've done that before. And now I can hear myself. Isn't that amazing? I have no idea why I can hear myself. Let me track down this rabbit for a minute. Now I can hear myself. Where is that? I was watching myself on YouTube, as I often do, because I'm that vain. Yes. I have no idea where I'm going with this. It's Monday. It's Monday. Welcome to SPP The Interview. That SPP stands for the Savannah Performance Project, a little thing I started about 2 years ago, right after a run of Mamma Mia at the Savannah Theater. I thought it was time to reach out to the community at large and try and work together with everybody. And I think it's going well, except for the fact that we had to close everything down right before we were going to have a meeting, which sucks. Excuse my French. But that's where we are now. So this is episode 59. And if you're looking online, it says 159. I'm not really sure why I did that now, but I'm going to stick with it. Let's just go ahead and say it's episode 159. I've done 159 episodes. Well, 158 if you subtract properly. And this is 159. And today it is Monday, and we are here with Mr. Evan Goetz. Did I get it right? No, but that's part of my fun. I mispronounce everything. So we're going to have Evan tell us how to pronounce his name in just a second, as soon as I bring him on. But he is waiting in the green room. He has filled himself up on Krispy Kreme donuts because our charcuterie vendor backed out at the last minute today. And I apologize for that, Evan. I know that you were looking forward to that, as most people do. I myself only got this apple, and it was already half eaten. So feel privileged you got the Krispy Kreme donuts. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Evan
Goetz.
And I knew that.
No, the O silent. It's okay. My whole life has been a butchered last name, so I've embraced it.
That's awesome. It's good to embrace your put upon foibles. I mean, that's not really your foible. It's just here. You can have this now. Yeah. I always get bass. Like, people will ask me, Chris, is this Mr. Bass? And I'm like, yeah.
I get that. Yeah, I get that for sure. I mean, with my last name with the O being in there, Goetz is the logical choice.
Right.
I get Goetz a lot, Evan Goetz.
That's a good one.
Who knows? Yep, that's
real quickly, I want to mention to everybody, if you're out there and you're watching me and Evan talk back and forth, let us know you're here. Be sure to ask questions, because I'm sure some of you people haven't seen Evan in a while, if you remember him from 3 years back here in Savannah, and you probably have some questions, some deep, intriguing questions for this man.
Oh gosh. Pressure on now.
So Evan and I, we first met doing a show at the Savannah Children's Theater.
Yes. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, right?
Yes. You had to think about it.
No, it's been such a long time.
I know. And real quick, I have to do this because I always have to do this because I have kids at home. I have to check and make sure I'm getting all of my internet speed, because I see we went from 7 people watching to 3 people watching. And to me, that says something's wrong.
Nice.
My son is twitching right now, probably. He's on the Twitch. I don't know.
What it's called now?
No idea. So we are now prioritized for the next hour. So
awesome.
Thank you, Google Internets. So Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and that, by my count, is about now 6 years ago.
I don't even know. I feel like yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Maybe 6 years ago.
Yeah, I think Molly was 10. And she's 16 now. So yeah, that makes total sense.
What?
No. She drives.
I can't even picture that. I just still see her as this little girl hopping on the car.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that crazy car.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that car.
Please, let's talk about that car. So the car was a rental
Yeah.
And it was not a full-size car.
Well,
It was a big car, but I mean, you guys trying to fit in it was not always easy.
that's true. We had to fit 4 people in
Yeah.
it. We were pretty squeezed in there. But it was really cool. I mean, we had to learn like how to make the wings expand, how to like make the car completely tilt. There were all
Yeah.
these buttons and contraptions, and we had to sing at the same time.
Yeah.
Make sure we're like pulling chitty bang bang, you know. It was.
So you controlled all of that?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was all
man.
manual controls.
Yeah. Other than Al pushing it out, I think that was.
That's true. Yeah, it was on a platform that got pushed out. But other than that, yeah, the lights we cut on, the tilt, the wing. I think Molly was in charge of the wings at one time. We had to
Was she
out on a certain line? Yeah.
All right. I've got a. I'm gonna surprise you here.
Oh God.
You're gonna be astounded. All right. I just sent out a emergency text to someone.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's not a big deal. So yeah, Lauren Cusker was your cohort on stage.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
She was.
Yeah, just such a good person too. I mean, she's really great to work with. So easygoing and up for anything. Like if we had to try something, she was like, "Yeah, let's do this." And she had to ride a little scooter as well.
Oh, I mean,
for a child, like
yeah,
a tiny little scooter, and she had to hop on there with this big dress and big hat, and she did it though.
Yeah, she sure did. And who else was on stage with us? JoJo.
JoJo, yep, he was on stage, and he was great. I love JoJo. He was my employee at Armstrong. He was one of my box office employees. So I love JoJo. He's
yeah, I do too. JoJo is fantastic. What are you doing here?
You told me to come.
I did?
Yeah. Hi.
I don't even know who this person is.
So Molly played. Oh gosh, what is the name of that character?
Jemima
Potts. That's right.
Yeah.
A name that we can't use anymore, of course.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, because of course, the syrup and the pancakes their name is changing altogether. Although Jemima Potts isn't really associated with that, but anyway, I'm sure there's people still named Jemima. I don't know why. Okay, I've gone down this rabbit hole. I need to stop right now.
Definitely a lot of weird names in that show. What was mine? Caractacus?
Caractacus, yes.
It was,
go ahead.
I can't remember the other kid's name.
I don't.
I know Lane's name. I can't remember what the other character's name was.
Didn't it rhyme with Jemima?
Jeremy?
Jeremy. Was it Jeremy and Jemima?
I
Can't remember.
Julius?
No, that was not it.
Jamiroquai?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. It's
you're
Jamiroquai.
That process, I blocked some of it out because I was so terrified, I think. When Jen was like, "Hey, the person who auditioned for this is no longer in the show. Do you want to do this?" Because I was teaching classes at the time at the Children's Theater. Like, ooh, this is a dance-heavy show. I don't know if I
didn't know that you weren't supposed to be in that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a secret. Yeah, I think the person.
No, I don't think it was either.
Yeah, I think he moved away.
Oh.
So yeah, I kind of stepped in and like, oh, I don't know, but of course Jen, she's very convincing at times.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to do it.
I'll say. And you had to tap dance.
Yeah, tap. Do some dancing with some bamboo.
Yeah, the old bamboo.
The old bamboo.
Yeah.
The old bamboo.
Yeah.
That was some of the hardest stuff I've ever done. Dancing.
Yeah. I can't even imagine because I was like, that was the role that I wanted. I made no secret of that. Yeah, but I was fine. I was fine not getting it. I like the part that I got. Actually, I don't know that did I even audition for that, Molly?
I don't remember.
I can't remember if I did either.
I was like 10 or 11.
Yeah, you were 10.
Character. I can't even remember your name. What was your first name? Did you have a first name?
I was Lord Scrumptious. I don't remember if I had an actual first name though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was perfect part. You were so good in that.
Oh, thank you. That's sweet. It was
the only
it was
memory I have from that show is when they pulled the car back into the garage and me and Lane just sat there and made up secret handshakes. But that's all I remember. That's it.
You don't remember singing "Truly Scrumptious"?
Not right. I remember falling asleep in the bed when you would sing us to sleep. I would like actually fall asleep because I was so exhausted.
It was a good break.
I mean, I was 10 and we were like going until 12 a.m. I was really tired.
I remember being terrified of setting the table. Do you remember this? And at the house and the things coming out of the wall at certain times.
Oh yeah, like the machine thing.
And someone was backstage, pushing the eggs through or.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to do it. I think it was all timed. Like we had to do it at a certain time. It's terrifying.
Yeah. And you did something with that too, or no?
No,
you didn't.
I remember the picnic. Me and Lane had to set the picnic.
No, you had to set. I thought you had to set the table. Oh, maybe it was just.
Was that the show? Yeah, this was the show where me and Lane tried to walk through the door, but the door was like it was stuck, and I pulled it too hard, and it fell on both of us.
Okay, so story about that was Kelly Miley wasn't there for that one. She was actually coming back from some sort of state competition with her daughter, I think, and so she wasn't at the show. And somebody called her and said the door fell, and the first thing she says is, "Oh, is the car all right?"
Of course. That car was not cheap.
That's the only response.
Well, yeah, it's a very expensive piece of rental property.
Thank goodness. I mean, I think it startled everyone, but it was like, ooh, we're good.
Yeah.
Good.
I remember it scraped me all down my leg, but
you were fine.
Lane was fine.
Lane was fine, and you were fine too.
And then the child catcher was like, "You guys are some strong kids." I just remember him saying something weird.
Yeah. That was Carter Keith.
Carter, yeah.
I remember him.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that was probably. Are you going away now?
I think so.
Okay.
My knees are hurting.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, Molly.
Bye.
That was probably your last show in Savannah, or did you do anything after that?
Trying to think if I did anything with Savannah Stage Company after.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of transitioned, especially from like grad school, performing and then not performing as much.
Yeah.
That's a personal choice of mine, and that was the reason why it'd been so long since I'd been on stage, even from grad school to or Savannah Stage Company to the Children's Theater. It was just a personal preference of mine. I didn't feel comfortable performing anymore. I'm very, very insecure about performing.
Yeah.
My whole thesis is on insecurity and how to overcome that. But I started transitioning more to the administrative side, which I fell in love with and love that tremendously. The administrative side and directing as well. And it's been even longer since I've been on stage. But sometimes most of the time I'm okay with directing.
Yeah.
Sure.
So how long were you with Armstrong then?
In a full-time position, 2 years. I started as adjunct, teaching some public speaking classes right out of grad school, and then eventually was hired full-time to do the marketing for the art, music, and theater department. Not really knowing what to do. I mean, a little bit, because working with Savannah Stage Company, doing the marketing for them for 4 years, really helped me, I think, get the job at Armstrong. That experience and that environment definitely got me the job at Armstrong, and then learned a lot on the job at Armstrong, especially producing or marketing for 60 plus events a year. It was fun and tough. In addition to that, I taught arts administration classes as well at Armstrong, which was fun, and directed a little bit there.
Yeah, so you took that and you brought that to the Blumenthal Theater?
Yeah. So when we moved to Rock Hill, South Carolina,
woo!
We're like, where's Rock Hill? It's actually,
I know where it is.
Yeah, because of your sister, right?
Yep.
No, it's a really good really good city, about 80,000 people, a lot bigger than you would think. And it being right underneath Charlotte, North Carolina, it's a great place to be if you don't want to live in Charlotte. Yeah, so started working at the Blumenthal, which is a big presenting performing arts organization. They have 6 theaters, I believe, all downtown Charlotte. And they do Broadway shows. They're the touring Broadway shows. They rent out their theater as well. They have concerts, all that fun stuff. And I did the marketing for the Broadway season. So the season as a whole, season subscribers, all that. So I managed all the marketing efforts for that.
Yeah.
A big perk, you get to see free shows anytime you want, which was
Right.
However, when I quit, I had tickets to Hamilton in October, and I left in September. And I said, please, can I keep these tickets? They were like, of course you can. These are your tickets. So I got to see Hamilton for free, which was really
nice. Sweet. Yeah.
And then, I left that. And then now I work for the city of Rock Hill, work for economic development, specifically the marketing department of economic development. And we produce all of the downtown events, all the cultural activities as much as we can. We have over 150 event days throughout the year.
Wow.
Not so much this year because of the pandemic.
Right.
In a normal year, we produce a lot. We have, I think the study is we provide $8 million in economic impact for the city just based on our events and activities that we do for the city. So we have a lot of fun stuff. We do, our big one is Food Truck Fridays. We do it once a month for about 6 months out of the year. We have 3,000 to 6,000 people that come out to our downtown Fountain Park area, and we have about 30 food trucks.
Wow.
And we have live music, and just people come out and celebrate and hang out with each other. It's such a cool event because you see the kind of the landscape, the demographics of it all, and it's so eclectic. And it's really nice that people just come together over food and music and celebrate each other and have a blast. So it's awesome to see things like that.
Yeah, I would love to see that right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we would too. Originally, we were supposed to start Food Truck Fridays back in May. We've had to stall at least through August. And then we're going to assess the situation just like everyone, I think. It's almost like a day at a time.
Yeah, I was due back in my office at the beginning of next month. And we just got the notice Thursday of last week that we're not due back until August now. So, yeah, you just have to take it one day at a time. We have a couple of shout outs here.
Aww.
I'm not sure who that is, if that's Jamie or if that's Lexi or who.
It's Jamie for sure.
Okay. Hey, Jamie. And then my sister says hi.
Oh, awesome. Hey, Susan. That's great. That's great. Jamie is actually killing it right now. I mean, they've obviously all theaters are transitioning, but when I stepped back, actually I stepped back kind of a year before I moved from Savannah Stage Company, just because I was so busy at Armstrong, life was kind of in the way. I was still supporting Savannah Stage Company, obviously, but I said I gotta take a step back, and Jamie stepped up, and she's like crushing it with marketing right now.
Yeah, she really is.
She really is. I mean, she's doing all like the graphic design and all the marketing, and I think she's actually doing a better job than I did. So I applaud her for doing that. Plus, running a theater company, it's not easy.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of running a theater company, so you guys recently, like in the past year, right? You started Old Town Theater Company?
Yeah. So when I got the job at the city, I kind of made a proposal and said, hey, well, let me go back. The city, we have a nonprofit called Old Town Association, which has a board of directors. I mean, it runs just like a regular nonprofit would. It's just kind of under the umbrella of the city, sort of. it gets deeper than that, but that on surface level, that's what that is. And that's where we produce all of our events, food truck Fridays, concerts, any kind of activity we do through that nonprofit, mainly because we can sell alcohol as a nonprofit.
Yeah, my sister likes that.
Yeah, right. If it was through the city, we can't sell alcohol through the city. So we made our own nonprofit about 12 years ago, and we do it through that. So I approached Old Town Association. I said, hey, I have this crazy idea of starting a theater company. I outlined a couple shows I thought. I talked about how much it would cost, about how much we would raise, and the profit of ticket sales, and how really no one's going to lose any money. We're actually going to make money based on ticket prices and all that. They said, sure, go for it.
Wow.
Oh God, this was in January of last year, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And the shows I proposed, the rehearsals would have started at the end of February.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, okay, now I got to start a theater company in a month. What the heck am I going to do? So,
because you weren't expecting a yes.
Not really. No, I thought, let's table this, let's figure this out and talk about it. They're like, go for it, try it. So I had to quickly get organized with auditions and all that. And it was great. The first show we did was The Secret Garden.
Oh yeah, love that one.
Version. This was a 45-minute one-act adaptation, mostly geared toward young audiences.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you the reason why we started this. Rock Hill, unfortunately, does not have a performing arts space. Very similar to Savannah a couple years ago, when people were kind of thrust out of their locations and had to figure out, well, where do we do shows? So downtown, especially, does not have a performing arts space. There is plans for the future, but that's 5-10 years down the road. They're going to build a massive performing arts center downtown Rock Hill. But again, that's millions of dollars later and years later. So I said, how can we do theater in Old Town, our downtown area, without a performance space? So my background working with Serenity Playhouse in Atlanta, site-specific theater, and sort of the mindset of what Savannah Stage Company did, which was a smaller cast, multiple roles, played by one actor, thinking, kind of molding those, meshing those two together and creating Old Town Theater Company. So it's a site-specific theater. And what we do, especially me working in an economic development department, is how can we create economic vitality through theater? Mm-hmm. We develop that through theater. So the goal was every show we partner with an organization or a venue that is outside in downtown or inside, and how do we do a play in that space? So Secret Garden was our first one, and we partnered with another event called Come See Me Festival, which is a massive festival in downtown Rock Hill in April. So I partnered with another organization and said, hey, can I do a play? Mm-hmm. And can you market the play in your booklet of events? So that's free publicity right there. They said, sure, let's do this. And we have a beautiful garden downtown Rock Hill called Glencairn Gardens. It's a beautiful, tons of acreage of flowers, of a little pond, of a creek, and a stage. So we did Secret Garden in an actual garden.
Wow.
So our backdrop, we had flowers blooming, birds chirping, and people attended that for free. It was a free performance. We wanted to make sure it was accessible. Again, that's a big part of what Savannah Stage Company was one of their values, making sure that theater was accessible to everyone. So we wanted to do a free performance, and we didn't know what to expect. We had auditions. We had about 30 people come audition, cast 6 people, and around 600 people showed up.
Wow.
For 4 performances. Yeah, it was crazy. Obviously, it being free was really nice.
Yeah.
The name is really nice. That's going to draw people. So we were really, really pleased with that. And in addition to that performance, we did surveys. We gave surveys out to audience members just to see what they thought, what kind of theater they want to see in Rock Hill, if this is something they want to see in Rock Hill at all. And the feedback was really positive. So I was like, okay, we're onto something here. People are searching for theater in this city. We do have a couple of other companies. We've got Rock Hill Community Theater. And we've got Showtime Theater Company. Showtime is very similar to Savannah Children's Theater.
Okay.
It's geared toward children. They do adult shows, just like 2 a year. But it's mostly camps and classes and shows like that. So it's very, very similar to what you guys do. And that's not necessarily Old Town Theater Company's market. Rock Hill Community Theater is very traditional. They're changing a little bit now, but it's your standard. It's your classics. It's your comedy, drama, a musical. So we're not really competing with them so much.
Right.
All competition, but to me, it's indirect. So what Old Town Theater Company was doing, or what we are doing, is something so different, especially with site-specific theater and partnering with organizations. So that was our first show. Then we said, okay, what's our second show going to be? So we decided to do The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Again, a 6-person cast, very accessible, 45, 50-minute play, 1-act adaptation. Savannah Stage Company did it in 2014. I'm not sure, somewhere. It's been a while.
They might confirm or deny whatever you said in just a second. We'll check in the stats, I guess.
We'll see. And so we did that. This was going to be a ticketed event. We were going to charge people $10 or pay what you can. Again, the Savannah Stage Company thing that I took with me and think it's so valuable. Again, we just want to make sure theater is accessible to every single demographic and every single person. There should never be a barrier for someone to see a show. My philosophy. That's mine. 2015. Hey, yeah.
I'm going to have to ask my sister what she meant by "I know all of them."
All of the events, maybe?
I don't know. Sometimes comments come in. Maybe she knows the actors. I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So we did Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and we partnered. There's a historic home downtown Rock Hill. It's called the White Home. It's a beautiful space, and there's a cabin on location in front of a patio and porch. It's really cool with string lights, and the cabin is the oldest structure in Rock Hill that still exists, early 1800s. So with Legend of Sleepy Hollow being late 1700s, we thought this is going to be a great space. So our backdrop was the actual cabin. That was our space. We put lights on there. We did some creative stuff with that space, and we sat about 100 people in that space, and it sold out every performance, 6 performances. Again, not knowing what to expect, especially it being a first ticketed show. We're like, are people going to pay? Do people know who we are? Are they going to come to this space? Yeah, we sold out 600 seats.
Wow. So how much of that would you say has to do with your own marketing experience, though?
So I think the marketing was the biggest part of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, we knew who Old Town Theater Company was, or they were just learning who we were. So I don't think the name had any bearing at all. Yeah. The show itself definitely had a big part of it. We did it around Halloween. We did actually Halloween weekend and the weekend before. So combining those, I was trying to be strategic and let's pick a well-known show, or at least the title, and let's put it around a holiday, and let's put it in a venue that people know. So I think the 3 of those things really contributed to the success of it. We did a lot of paid social media, which is where I think the majority of marketing budgets should go, is on media, or at least digital. We did that. We did a lot. Actually, not
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
We
did all that with pictures. We had promotional photos. We had other posts. And just a standard Facebook ad that was scrolling. As you scroll through, you see ads all the time. So we did that. And it sold out very quickly, and I think it went well. People enjoyed it. We did surveys for that one just to see what they thought of that experience, and it was very positive. So that was kind of our trial run, our trial first season, and we were launching this season more solidified. But of course, the pandemic hit. We were in the middle of rehearsing Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Kind of that same time slot we did Secret Garden. We were partnering with Come See Me again. It was going to be a free performance. We were going to have a tea party afterwards. People who wanted to pay a little extra. That's how we were going to kind of generate our revenue, since it was a free show. But we had to stop it. We had to cancel. Like everyone else did.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, it stinks.
Yeah,
it stinks.
It does. Yeah. So we keep moving the deadline, the goalposts or whatever you want to call it, of when we can actually come back and do things, and especially now, we had some positive vibes last week, but now this week, not so much so positive anymore, just because numbers seem to be going up. But I mean, in your mind, when do you think you would be able to do it again?
So for Alice in Wonderland, we have canceled that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not going to move forward. We have a couple of actors. One actor is moving.
Mm-hmm.
She's just finished with undergrad. She was in a show last year with us. She was in Sleepy, but she's moving, so she can't do it. I don't want to put her in or put a new person in there. I mean, we could, but we were so far into the rehearsal period. I feel like we just had to cancel it. Like that was the logical thing. But we've been brainstorming recently. How can we still do theater in the middle of a pandemic?
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of theaters are changing. They're doing radio shows. They're doing live stream events. With Old Town Theater Company's mission, especially partnering with local businesses and doing theater that way, it's a physical activity for Old Town Theater Company. We have to with a venue or a space. That's our mission, so we have to follow it. And we can't do that virtually. How can we support downtown businesses through theater virtually? It's tough. I mean, I'm sure there's a creative way to do that, but it's really tough.
Yeah.
Obviously, South Carolina is mostly open back up. Restaurants are back in full swing. Retail is open. So we do have that advantage, but we still want to be mindful of how do we be socially distant? How do we be respectful of everyone involved, not only the actors, but also the businesses and the people shopping at those places or eating at those places. So we've done two things. One, which I think is amazing, and we've already started this project. It's more internally. Right now we have a company member who's also kind of our marketing person or helps with that, Jessica Edwards. She is fantastic. She's been in a couple of shows. She's done some other things for us. She's a great playwright as well. So she came up with this project. You know, in improv, you do the yes and. Like that's
Yes,
the
and. Yes, and.
So she's like, how can we do a yes and project but do a playwriting project with our company members? So she came up with this awesome, brilliant idea of we write a play and use the yes and theory. So she has written the first page. She's written some parameters, some rules. She's given it a theme. She writes the first page. Then she sends it to one of our company members. And they see her page, and then they write the second page. And then those 2 pages get sent to another company member. And that person writes 1 page. You're only allowed to write 1 page. And you can't see the play until it's all done. Or, for example, like I wrote page 7. I got sent 6 pages, and so I wrote the 7th page. And then I send it back. And then Jessica sends it to another company member. And I don't get to see it until it comes back around to me after we've gone through all the company members. And I get to see the other pages and see where people have taken that story. So it's building upon each other. We're being creative in the process. We're having to think. We're having to read what people have written, try to get in their heads. Mm-hmm. And we're going to write a play. Everyone is contributing to this play, and it could be awful. And which is fine. It's fine. The point of it is that we're still using our creative brains, and we're still doing something.
Right.
We're not sitting back saying, what do I do next? So we're trying to do that internally. And then hopefully we'll be able to kind of workshop it with the public and let them come to a read through and hear how awesome or how bad it is. Right now it's kind of crazy. It's kind of fairy tale, like folklore. So it's going some strange places. There's some fairies in the woods right now. It's fun. It's fun though. It's fun.
Yeah. It sounds fun. We've done a couple of things like that here. With the Children's Theater too. They had a thing where one person started it and then they continued with the story along the way, and then they produced a video of it and they posted that online, which was
that's awesome.
Yeah, but I think that's what everybody's kind of trying to do right now is to keep the light on, putting their creative vent somewhere else, not focusing it so much on performing and memorizing lines and staging stuff, but do some of the work behind the scenes to, when we do finally turn all the lights back on, we have some incredible content that we've created during this time that either is contextually about this time or it's a fairy tale. I like that. It's great.
Right. I think I saw a meme going around. Shakespeare wrote The Tempest during the plague. Or some play. I don't know. Maybe it was Macbeth. I don't know. But we're creative during this downtime. I think that's when we allow ourselves to rest and fully think about what we're interested in and how we can be creative. Yeah, absolutely. Another project we're working on, which I'm excited about, we're launching next week internally with the company members, but we're doing Sidewalk Shakespeare. So we're partnering with downtown businesses and performing short 5-8 minute 2-3 person Shakespeare scenes, mostly comedic or romantic type scenes in front of businesses. So businesses will allow us to perform in front of them on the sidewalk, and people coming through we've done a window of between like 12 and 2. We'll be performing every half hour, 3 scenes at one time across the city, 3 different locations. And people who come to see that performance or just stop by during those time frames, they will receive a discount in the store.
Oh, nice.
Again, we're trying to promote the businesses through the art of theater. We're saying, hey, come shop here, see some theater, and get a discount. So that's a part of our mission of who we are. We're going to try that out. We're going to do it twice a month on Saturdays and rotate them out. So like the first Saturday will be at these 3 businesses, and the next time we perform, it'll be at 3 different places with 3 different scenes.
I see.
So again, we pay everyone. We pay our actors. So we're able to support their art and pay them during this time and make people come downtown and shop safely, of course.
Safely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this Saturday we're having an orientation with the company members to talk about the project and have a pizza party with masks if we can. We're doing it outside, so.
Yeah. So my sister's chiming in now because her son works at Knowledge Perk.
What?
Yeah.
Who?
Jack. Her son is Jack.
I'm trying to think which one Jack is.
Jack has been there. He's been there almost this whole time. He was laid off for a little bit, but I think he's back there now.
What? That's crazy.
But he is very theatrical, so I need to get him in touch with you.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Oh, we love Knowledge Perk. That's the coolest coffee shop ever.
Yeah.
They're doing some cool stuff too.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
And they're actually really supportive of the arts too. Rock Hill Community Theater just did a concert version of Once, right when all this stuff happened, the pandemic. Such a cool space. It was great. It was like a big live band. They had about 10, 15 people there. So it was really, really cool, especially Knowledge Perk partnering with a theater. Yeah,
Once is amazing. I love that. I love the music from it. I've actually talked to 2 people who have done Once. One of the people has actually done it on Broadway.
Wow.
And then Ryan McCurdy, who you may be
Yep.
familiar with. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ryan was also in Once. Once is amazing. So
it's my favorite musical.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, it is. I love it.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's so great. I love musicals like that. I love classics as well. That's at least singing the classics. I prefer singing classics. This is something more contemporary, but just that style of show with the instruments on stage and this kind of Celtic sound a lot. Gives me chills.
Yeah. So do you still sing in a choir?
No, I don't actually. Not right now. Life is busy and church has stopped completely. So.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I that makes sense, of course.
Yeah. I've contributed virtually a little bit, some solos and stuff for a church. But nah, I'm out.
Keep singing anyway, even if it's not in a choir.
I try.
Yeah.
So
when is the Shakespeare coming up?
So the goal is to start August 1st.
Okay.
And we're hoping to live stream that too, just to get people interested and see who we are. So offering a virtual version of what we're doing. Mm-hmm. We still want to be accessible in that way, but I'm hesitant of doing a full virtual performance. To me, it's just not the same sometimes. Like you don't get that same experience of watching. Right. Actually, Jamie Tente, Savannah Stage Company, and I have had a couple conversations recently where we're hesitant about that because it's just not the same, and we want to be true to who we are. But
right,
some are doing it so well, you know what I mean, and doing a great job. I'm just scared. I'm afraid to approach it and just not create the same experience.
Well, I mean, it's 80% of what it is the audience. You cannot do that type of theater without someone to reflect that on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just so different, and sometimes I don't want to sacrifice that. Like I just want to keep that physical connection, and I don't want to put it out there. Yeah. And there's also this, not theory, but this idea going around, like, are we making theater accessible by doing it virtually? Are we doing that so much that people are not gonna support live theater in the future? They're just gonna be like, oh, I can get it online, or I can watch. I mean, just like the release of Hamilton, last night. They're planning on releasing it in a couple weeks. Like, are you gonna want to go see Hamilton now, or you just say, oh, I can watch on Disney Plus?
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying, but I think Hamilton has made enough money.
I mean, they can do whatever they want.
That's right. It's like we got our share. We're good.
Yeah, they're fine. They can put whatever they want online.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to diminish the quality of theater by making it so accessible where people are like, yeah, I don't need to pay a ticket. I can, watch it online.
Right. I mean, I see that as being true to some extent, but I guess my thought is that the diehard theater fans are still going to keep coming, and in fact, they will grow.
Yeah,
that's my thought. As much as they're being exposed to it now, it's just when you are someone who is having a conversation about theater, like say, I just watched this great show on Broadway HD, and it was just truly amazing, and I'd like to see that. And then you talk to someone else who hasn't seen anything on stage, and it's like, we should go together. I still think that kind of conversation is going to happen.
That's what I hope. I truly hope people are exposed to theater in a new way and now are inspired to go see a show because they experience maybe virtually or not. I hope so. Who knows?
So my sister, who actually, I think she did see Hamilton at the Blumenthal.
It's coming back. It's coming back, Susan. They've announced it.
Oh, is it really coming back?
Well, next year, yeah.
Next year, yeah. I would see it again too. We saw it in Chicago, and I would definitely see it live again. But we are diehards. We are, for sure.
I've always been the kind of person who's like, I don't want to see things that are cliche. Like I'm against that a lot of times. Like, oh, if it's popular, I don't want to see it. Like I don't want to invest. But Hamilton is truly, truly remarkable.
Yeah. Now, Evan, have you seen Dear Evan?
I haven't.
Oh.
It came through Blumenthal as well,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't working there, so I couldn't get a
Oh, there
picture.
you go.
It's expensive to go to a show at Blumenthal.
It's expensive to go to a show anywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe we'll see it more accessible in that way. I don't know.
That's what I hope. I mean, again, that's my goal. That's what Old Town Theater Company's doing, and like Savannah Stage Company, is making sure that it is accessible. I think that's so important. We have the city, especially Old Town and Savannah's like this too. They're underserved populations, represented populations around the city, and some people can't see theater because it's too expensive. Even $10 sometimes is expensive for certain people.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's so beneficial that we make sure those barriers are torn down. That doesn't mean you have to like sacrifice every single show and make every show pay what you can, because you can lose revenue sometimes that way. But making sure there are opportunities for people to experience theater that is free or super inexpensive. I know, like Savannah Children's Theater, you guys have scholarships that you do. That is so beneficial for people who can't experience or be a part of it.
Right.
So it's really nice.
Very cool. Well, Evan, I appreciate you coming on and telling us about what's going on in Rock Hill and sharing your experience with theater as a whole and your hope for what's coming next. I know we all reflect back on that, and it gives us hope as well. And
Absolutely.
also, I would like to invite you to come back, because I'm starting a new series next week. This is called SPP The Interview, but what I'm going to have is SPP The Lesson, and I want you to teach me something.
Oh God, what do you want to learn?
Well, I mean, you have a marketing background,
Kind of.
and I'm looking to market myself a little more. So maybe you could teach me that as well as people watching. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we do stuff like that here with businesses downtown. Kind of like a social media 101 or marketing 101. Like,
Right. I'm not saying reveal all your secrets.
no, I'm an open book. I will be happy to reveal all of my secrets. My knowledge should be someone else's knowledge.
Yes, I totally agree. I love to share what I learn as well, and it makes for a better us, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think that makes the world a better place too.
Yes, we're all talking about what we need to learn right now, and I may not be teaching about Black history so much, but because I have no knowledge of it, but maybe I'll bring somebody on to talk about that as well.
Well, listen, I mean, seriously, like, the idea to me, especially in the arts, is collaboration. If you collaborate with people, if you're open to listening to people and sharing your knowledge, and regardless of age, demographic, gender, whatever you want to call it, just collaborate, talk about it. That's what moves the needle forward and progresses society, I think. And listen, these protests and things have really changed my perspective on theater. We were planning our season next year, 2021, thinking that there will be a season. But I wasn't mindful of, do I have a Black playwright? Do I have something that reflects society wholly? No, I kind of didn't. So I reached out to a local playwright who's African American and started that conversation. She's like, yes, let's collaborate. Let's do a play together. Let's make sure that's a thing. So yes, collaboration is my point.
Yes,
everyone is collaborating.
Absolutely.
That can solve so many problems, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. Communication, collaboration, discussion, all of those things, and love.
Absolutely. And I think the theater scene in Savannah, it's gone through some tough times as well. But I think hopefully this will bring people together and start those conversations as well. That's the way to do it.
I totally agree. Well, Evan, you have a great rest of your Monday, and we look forward to August. At least my sister does, who lives close by. She really wants to meet you, by the way.
We'll just
we'll have to work that out.
Where does she live again?
Okay, she lives. What exit do you live off of, Susan? She's going to tell me. I'm not going to tell you the exact location, but
Is it? It's not in Rock Hill, right?
it is in Rock Hill.
But it is in Rock Hill.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And we'll talk about that offline. I'll let you know.
Absolutely. I think that's right. Yeah, Susan, anytime.
Okay.
Here, you can follow Old Town Theater Company on Facebook.
There you go. I'll put the link in here so Susan can find it. She said she's out of the city, so she's not directly in the city, but still, pretty close. She's pretty close.
Yeah. We'll look that up and come visit us, and we'll have fun.
All right. Sounds good. All right. See you later, Evan.
Yeah.
Bye. Evan Goetz, ladies and gentlemen. That was amazing. So, yes, this has been a great day. We've had a great conversation, and I hope to have more great conversations coming forward. Look for my announcement about these new episodes that I'm going to be doing. I'm very excited about it. And tomorrow we will have another happy hour with Mr. Todd Green, my old friend, and I hope you come back and enjoy that. That will be at 6 p.m., not at our usual 1:15 spot, because I do not drink at 1:15. Also, I don't drink much at 6, but that's just me. You do your thing. I'll do mine. Anyway, see you next time. And now I'm going to do my freeze, my 1980s sitcom freeze moment. Here it comes.